I was thinking about tonight's shir because I went with my kids camping. So we're learning in the Gemara that Eitz Cotton is Madlika Eitz Godel. That by Klal Yisrael, that's the way it is. It's like a circle. When Talmidei Chachamim, Yidden that learn themselves, the Gemara to say it's a terrible thing. You become silly and you go. It's an Eshken learn. When you learn together, that's the whole thing in Avodas Hashem. When a person does Avodas Hashem, they're alone on a mountain. It doesn't. It's like it doesn't work. The Mashpim Lubavitch said that what happens is that if you have a tree, a single tree, and you have to plant it, it's very hard to make it grow, and it should grow straight. But if you're in a forest, you have no chance to go back. Because the other trees. So when you're Ovdei Hashem and we're together, and we're all doing an Avodas Hashem, so we straighten each other out. Just like in a fire, even you need dafka Eitz Cotton to be madlik and Eitz Godel. Anyway, so I'm glad to be back. We're learning and Ashkoch Al Yonetz Moededik, because we stopped for a few weeks and we said we're going to learn the last two dafim Tainus, which has to do with the 3 weeks and Tisha B'Av. So now we're going back to Daf Zayin, where we're holding Daf Zayin Amud Aleph, the top 2 lines, and I'm thinking to us, hey, that's this week's parsha, but Odem Eitz Asod. Couldn't plan it out better. Okay, so let's start. Daf Zayin Amud Aleph, 2 lines from the top. Amar Rabbi Abo, Godel Yom Makshamim et Tchiyas HaMeisim, that a day of rain is even greater than Tchiyas HaMeisim. So therefore, Kshamim is greater than Tchiyas HaMeisim. Tchiyas HaMeisim is only for tzaddikim. Rain is for tzaddikim and Rishayim. What kind of language is this? What's the language is this? Huh? Everyone has. Okay, so Pashtus, that you could say that tzaddikim here means ka'amech kulam tzaddikim is talking about Yidden, and Rishayim is talking about Goyim. But Bachlal, what's the pshat the Gemara is saying? So there's a beautiful pshat from the Ben Yehoyada. The Ben Yehoyada says like this. The Gemara says, Kosher is an Shaladim Kriyas Yamsu. Why is it hard? The Eibush that's hard to give a person parnosa?
No.
To us it's hard. But we're talking to the Eibush that. To the Eibush that's hard?
No.
So why is it Kosher Kriyas Yamsu? So why is Kriyas Yamsu kosher?
What's kosher for them?
What's kosher for the Eibush? Kriyas Yamsu is kosher.
What's easy and what's hard?
Exactly.
Do everything.
Elamai kosher because Chazal say there was a taina that Eloy David Zora, Eloy David Zora. Their people are serving David Zora like the Goyim. So why are the Yidden being saved and the Goyim are being punished? So therefore, says the Ben Yehoyada, that the Shaila is not mitzad the Mashpia, mitzad the Eibishter, mitzad the Mekabel, mitzad the Yidden. The kosher of Kriyas Yamsuf was that they didn't deserve such a spectacular miracle. That's why it was kosher, because the Eibishter wants that everything should be when a person deserves it. And over here, the Eibishter went against the rule that they didn't deserve it. They got it anyway. That's kosher. Same thing, the parnos of a person.
It says by Kriyas Yamsuf, where the Eibishter created the rule and made at night. I'm going to make you ocean, but remember, at one point you have to listen to it.
Emes. Well, Apoel, there's a certain Indian of kosher.
Yeah.
Same mitzados, not mitzad Eibush, mitzados. Same thing says the Ben Yehoyada is when it comes to mezainos of shalom. We have a lot of bills. From Hechi Teisi that we deserve that the Eibush should give us everything we need. Alamai, the Eibush gives us bechesed barachim. That's kosher because the Eibush wants we should deserve it, but we don't deserve it. He gives it anyway. So Tchiyas HaMeisim is only to the Yidden who deserve it. And Kshamim is Ashpah that the Eibishter gives to the world even if the people don't deserve it. Even though they don't deserve it. And that, it's a Gadlus. A Gadlus, it's an Indian of Chesed and Gadlus, as we know from the Alter Rebbe, the Maimer that we learned 2 weeks ago in Shabbos, that Chesed and Godel is the same thing. Godel is Chesed. Chesed and Gedula is Hainu Hach. So the gadlus of Shamim is that it's absolute chesed that comes from the Eibishter, even though the people, the recipients, are not deserving.
Maybe for the Eden, he's doing it with the Roman Dafka Friday night. Right. Special.
That's you have to deserve takas. Then you tak have to deserve. Otherwise, you get it Sunday afternoon. Amar Babo, Godel Yom HaGshamim Tchis HaMesim. That Yom HaGshamim is greater than Tchis HaMesim. Still Tchis HaMesim, Tzadikim HaGshamim, Tzadikim HaLashon. That Tchis HaMesim is only for the people that deserve it. That's Tzadikim. Shamim, everyone gets it. Figure Rabbi Yosef. Amar Rabbi Yosef, Tashu Shkula, Ketchis HaMesim, Kavua, B'Tchis HaMesim. Rabbi Yosef says that they're equal. They're equal, and that's why in Tchis HaMesim we mention about Kshamim. Nemesis, the Mashot says that there's a sichos here, that without rain you can't live. So that's a miniature Tchis HaMesim. That's a miniature Tchis HaMesim. So rain and Tchis HaMesim have a sichos to each other. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, another two Amoraim, they're going to say something similar to the first two. Rabbi Bo and Rabbi Yosef. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Godel Yom HaGshamim K'yom L'Beit Torah. The day that it rains is Gewalt, like the day of giving the Torah. We'll say later in the Gemara that there's a comparison. The Gemara compares rain to Torah. So we're saying that Godel Yom HaGshamim K'yom L'Beit Torah. Shenema Yarav Kamotar Likchim En Lekech El Torah. It says in the Seis HaBrocha that the Lekech of the Eibishter, which is Torah, is going to come like motor, like rain. So it's interesting. A lot of the Maimorim Chassidus talk about what's the connection between Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah. Shmini Atzeres we ask for rain. Simchas Torah is the Simcha of Torah. We see that there's some connection between rain and Torah. Rain and Torah have a certain connection. In other words, it has to be the sarus of the Yid. The Yid has to do his avodah. The Yid has to toil on learning Torah. Yarav kamot chelikchem yelekech Torah shneim kilekech Torah nesat l'chem Torah asal tazay v'Rava yoyisem yoshem Torah. There's even a mila in the range. Shneimar Yarav kamot chelikchem. That the lekech of the Eibush is similar to Mata. We're saying this is as great as that. So this thing is greater. That's the benchmark. So the Torah is like the Kshamim. Okay, so we need to have a little bit of a biur in this, but we'll leave it right now because I'm sorry we have a little short time, and I really want to get to the next shtickle Gemara. It's Hashkoch El Yoina that we're learning it, and it's the Shabbos of Parsha Softim. Here we say that Torah is compared to motor, and here we say it's compared to tal. Is it geshem or tal? What's Torah? If he's a talmid chochem and he's a hogun, then treat him like tal, which is soft. Then he should be.
Motor is not good?
Your motor is like very hard.
Strong, right?
Very strong, right. What do you mean, orfeu? So first of all, there's a lot of kisos that say horgehu, that the Torah, a person that learns Torah the way of Shalai Lishma, in a hogan. So like the Gemara is going to say later, the Torah is a sam that's Seipach Echaim. But the Mashal says, Poshet, orfeu tifna la'orev, turn around to him. Don't, from such a person that's not a Talmid Chacham hogun, don't learn Torah from him. Why shouldn't you learn Torah from a Talmid Chacham that's not Hogan? Well, what's the Gefahr? You learn Torah. What's the difference? He opens a art scroll Gemara and he reads the Gemara. He gives you a share from the Gemara. What does Hogan Mechlal mean? What is Mechlal? The Safoni word Hogan. So we'll get about the beautiful. There's 3 sichos from the Rebbe on this. Each one nicer than the other one. And we'll get to it in a minute. So Hashem Azok, Talmid Chacham Hogun. The Eibishter gives him benachas, the Torah comes into him. Tachat Chochem She'einu Hogan has to work hard. He has to be Mesiageya b'Torah. But it doesn't come so easy.
So I like that so it's even more. Why you want to learn Chassidus? So the Rebbe says that Nas Libo Sichos Elef Yamim Kacha. And he wrote them in the letter, like the Tzemach says, it's not just a word. That's actually is.
Sagt the Gemara, now we'll get to the Talmud Chacham Hogam and not Talmud Chacham Hogam. Tanya, Hoyer beno oimer. Koloisik b'Torah l'shma terasa natzah l'sam chaim. Person who learns Torah l'shma, the Torah becomes a sam chaim for the person. Remember, it's chaim ila mazlikim ba v'omer refuasi l'shorecha v'omer ki moitzi motza chaim. 3 psukim that show the Torah is chaim. So Sam says a moedik vort about every pasuk is moisa from the other pasuk. And he also the Gemara continues, so the pshat from the Welt is if you learn Torah Shalol Lishma, it's Eipach HaChaim. So he says Torah is always a good thing. It's just like some medicines are easy to take, and some are like bitter. They're like moitzi, marim and movis. They're marim and movis. So for a person that turns Torah Lishma, the Torah is sweet, but the person turns Shalom Lishma, eventually Shalom Lishma Bo Lishma, but the violet goes through a bitter process. Okay. Shnema Yarav Kemotar Likhi mainly Alifa El Ariga Shnema Orfa Shamasa Egla Banocham. So again, we'll leave it for next week. A little more to mind. What's the difference of Torah with Torah Lishma and Shalom Lishma, some Chaim, some Amovis. Amar Loi.
Wait, the medicine you said that's bitter. It's physically bitter?
Yeah, that's what the Sfasama says. It's not the pshat that he dies, but the Torah is a bitter pill. It's not easy for it to go down. Talk to Gemara.
You comparing it to Torah.
Torah that if he learns a lishma, it goes down like a sweet medicine. And if he learns a shalom lishma, it goes down as a bitter medicine. But either way, the Sfasama Zog, not the pshat that chas v'sholom Torah could hurt a person. It's only the question is if he learns the lishma, it goes down sweet, and in other words, it goes down bitter.
If somebody learns Torah Shalom Lishma, it could hurt.
Oh, that's a pashut pshat. Lebeno oimer kol oisuk b'Torah lishma drasna nasam chaim shema yitzchaim l'machzika b'avayim refus l'shirach b'avayim k'moitz matzah chaim. So the Torah b'shalom lishma nas l'sam amov v'shnam yorv k'mok tarlichim v'narif v'larigi shnam arf v'sham es ha'egla b'noch. Omer loy Rabbi Yirmiyah l'Rabbi Zeira. Yirmiyah said to Rabbi Zeira, leisimar lisni. Let's sit down and learn something. Amar loy cholish liboy. Zeira said, my heart is very shvach. V'lo yachil and I can't teach you anything. So the Yirmiyah said to the Zeira, Leima mar miltza dagadata. Say a pshat and agadata. Okay, if you can't tell me a pshat and babakama, something about migui, if you can't tell me something about shnayim eichas and batalas, tifa pshat, just tell me a pshat agadata. Oh my lay, Ochem Rabbi Yochanan. This is what Rabbi Yochanan said. It says in the Pasuk, Yodam Eitz Soda. What's a Pasuk Pshat? It's this week's Parsha. We say that when a person comes L'Melchama, Shmuel, can I bother you for the Dvar Malchus right in front of you? So thank you very much. So we say that if they make some motzor on the city, they surround the city. So in the old days, today's days maybe. The technique of war, one of the techniques was to cut off all the supplies of life for the city. The Torah says that you're not allowed to chop down trees that give fruit. You're not allowed to cut it off. That's a fruit tree, you're not allowed to cut it off. Torah adds 7 words. Ki ha'odam eitz asad lovim mipanecha b'matzah. What does this mean? What do these words mean?
What's the word?
So Rashi says, why is you? We said you're not allowed to cut the tree. It has fruit. So first the Torah says, Ki mimenu toichel b'ayis sichos, because the fruit is food, and you're not allowed to cut it. Then the Torah says another thing. Ki ha'odam eitz asad. What does that mean? So Rashi says, Harei kima hashamash b'loshen dilma shema ha'odam eitz asad. konas betechem matzon panach v'sasi b'suri rod v'tzama kan shahir lamet ashchisenu. Why would you be mashchis a tree? Don't do something so silly to be mashchis a tree.
What kind of tree is talking about?
A tree that gives fruit. Right. Then the next pasuk says, "Irak eitz hashetei dekiloyitz meichelu." A tree that you know that is not giving a significant amount of fruit. Oise sashchis v'charota. That you can cut. So the Gemara asks a question. What's the question? Rabbi Yochanan asks the question. Was a person that ate a soda. Again, not reading it, the Pashup Shah, the Rashi and the Chumash. Says, not allowed to cut. Key, the reason. Not Dilma. Rashi says. The Gemara learns a key. Derha, not Dilma. Because a person is like a tree. Is a person a tree? It says in the Pasuk. I'm sorry. Okay, so which one?
I mean, where does it say b'charata?
In the next pasuk. The first, right? It's a strange question. The Torah itself says it's a strange question. What kind of question is? It's not a contradiction. The pasuk says if there's fruits in the tree, you're not allowed to cut it. If there's no fruits, you're allowed to. What's the stira? What's the kasha? So we'll talk about this.
You're supposed to be an expert when it comes to cutting down a tree.
Yeah. If you don't know, you got to ask local Orthodox rabbi.
What happens when it's in the winter?
Doesn't matter. You have to know what kind of tree it is.
Don't say it was an agricultural society. Everybody knows.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if he was a Talmud, remember we spoke before about Talmud Chacham Hagun. If it's a Talmud Chacham Hagun, if it's a Talmud Chacham, which is a Hagun, you should eat from his fruit. Cut him off and don't eat from his fruit.
Go away from a Talmud that's teaching you not to Hagun, go away from him.
Okay, so
that means that you shouldn't go near him.
Yeah, don't go learn from him. Don't go learn from him. Don't learn from him.
He's not allowed.
What is a gun and what's not a gun?
What's Hagun B'chlal?
Right.
So there's a few beautiful biurim from the Rebbe on this Gemara. Starting with the Pashta Shaila. The Gemara asks, how is a person compared to a tree? What's the question? What's the answer?
Is this something we learn in Tu B'Shvat?
Oh, it's negated to Tu B'Shvat, Chamisas B'Shvat. Because Chamisas B'Shvat, there's a minig that we don't say Tachrons, Rosh Hashanah, we eat certain fruits. Some people make a special seder for Chamisas B'Shvat. It's a big deal. What's the connection? This Arba Rosh Hashanah. Our Rosh Hashanah is 30 days. The trees, let them worry about themselves. We have to make a whole masibah for the trees. Let the trees make a masibah for themselves. Elamai, because the Odom Eitz HaSoda. So we see that the comparison of a person to Eitz HaSoda is not stam. It's a true comparison. So that's why the Rebbe asks a Posha Kasha. The Gemara says, how is a person like a tree? What do you mean, how is a person like a tree? There's 100 ways you could compare. The Mishnah says, well, you need a Gemara to ask? The Mishnah says a Pirkei Avos. Every child that learns a Pirkei Avos. You learn Pirkei Avos in the summer? So you know, in Pei Gimel Pirkei Avos, it says, Culture, if you have a lot of Chochmah and a little bit of Maisa, what is that compared? Person is very smart, a big Talmid Chacham, but he does very little. What happens? He has very little roots. The big tree, nice tree, but the roots are nothing. The wind comes and he goes flying. And then the Mishnah continues, the Kol Shemaisa Merumah Chachmase. He does a lot of Maisa. Chachma is little, but he knows this is what you got to do. He does it. He's a doer. But he knows he has to do, he does. So that's Lamazadoim Alilan, that it's Sheroshim Merubim, Vanof of Motim, and Kol Rucha Sheba'olam, Noishus Ve'ein Mezizas Oisim Koimai. You can't move this guy. This is a solid guy. This is a solid guy. Because Ma'isam Amaruvim Mechuchmasah. So what's the Gemara asking? How's a person compared to the trees? Everyone Mishnah Mefareshus in Pirkei Avos. Every child that learns Pirkei Avos in the summer knows it. Elamai, the Gemara wants to know. Yeah, there's a moshel and a nimshel. This is the Pirkei Avos is a moshel. Person, the Ma'isam are roots. The Chochmah is branches. Chochmas are not branches. The Ma'isam are not roots. A moshel. There's a moshel and a nimshel. A moshel and nimshel are two separate things. There was a fellow this year. He made a gewaltige Kiddush Hashem, an inspirational speaker. He's from South Africa. His father was a Choshev for many years. I forgot his name.
With the gates
yeah.
on Shabbos. He didn't want to smoke on Shabbos.
Yeah. So many years ago, it was a Kinus Shluchim, and they had one session about public speaking. Well, I went. It was very nice. This fellow spoke. So one of the things I remember he said that there's a moshel and a nimshel. Sometimes you lose people in the moshel. You have to bring them from the moshel back into the nimshel. So I remember he said, you're teaching something, and he's wanting to give a moshel. He said, your mom was a father and a son, and they went out in the ocean, a boat, and they went fishing. And you describe how this fishing expedition goes, and then you bring a nimshel. He said, your balabatim are still in the ocean, they're catching fish. You're already giving a migrin, a koyachatayna. They're still in the boat. They're still in the pontoon boat, and they're still sitting there with the big fish, with the sea bass or the fish cat. So they're still hooking the mackerel. So you have to bring them back from the moshel to the nimshel. Anyway,
It's a good cup.
so there's a moshel, there's a nimshel, there's a tree, and there's a human being. And the Mishnah says, just like a good tree has roots, and if it's a good tree and has a lot of roots, it doesn't fly. If it has a little bit of roots, it goes flying. A solid human being is full of ma'aseh tovim. He knows this is right, he does it. He does it. That's a solid human. Then there's a person to pull him. There's a lot of chokhmah in his head. For every 100 chokhmas he has, he does a half a mitzvah. So that such a person goes flying easily. When there's winds of trends in this world, okay, there's a moshel and a nimshel. The Gemara here is trying to say that the person and an eitz asod is not a moshel and a nimshel. You wouldn't celebrate Chamisha Asar, Bishvat, Tu Bishvat, because it's a moshel and a nimshel. The reason we don't say tachanun, we eat fruits, so we make there are Sfardim that make a special Seder Tisha Chamisha Bishvat. So that's because there's a real connection. What's the connection of Adam? That's what the Gemara wants to know. So the answer is like this, and this is the nakud of the answer. Chazal say that there's a olam kotan and a olam gadol. Whatever happens in the olam gadol happens in the olam kotan of the human being. In the olam gadol there's a doimim tzameach chayim adab, and also a human being there's a doimim tzameach chayim adab. Doimim in the rocks. Oises machshava, oises adibur. Rocks. Tzameach is the midos. The midos of a person is tzameach, because they grow. A person, you're different than midos from when they're a child, from when they grow up. Excitement grows, anger grows, chesed, love grows, but also it grows in one place. A person's midas tend to stay. You could graft a tree, but it's not easy. Sometimes if you graft a tree and you plant it somewhere else, you get better results elsewhere. Better results, but it's a process. Changing a person's midas is not easy. Seichel is chai. It's a lebedik. A person can understand today. This is right. He doesn't have to be dafke. A goy is. He registers a Democrat. He's a Republican. He's gandik. Whatever Obama sagt is good. The other guy, whatever Trump sagt is good. But Yiddelach are not that way. You know, this issue, he agrees, should be this way, and the other issue, fakir. That's about seichel, is here and there and everywhere. Celebritic. But midas is not that way. Midas is rooted. A person's midas, to change the midas is very, very, very difficult. So that's why it's Sameach. It grows, but it has deep roots. It stays in one place. Haklau. Doimem is Oitzes Adibar Oitzes Machshavet. Sameach is Midas. Chai is Seichel. Medaber is Neshama. Whatever. So the Gemara asks, V'chi ha'odam Eitz HaSoda. Odom is the shame. There's four. A human being has four names. Odom, Ish, Gevet, Enosh. Odom is the highest, is a compliment. It's Odom is Hashem HaSeichel, Ish is Hashem HaMidos. Ki Odom Eitz HaSoda, the Gewalt of a person is that he's an Eitz, that you Meshabeach a person with his Midos, that he's a Talmud Chochem Hogun. What does it mean Hogun? That he learns Torah and he's a mensch. He becomes a nice person. A Eidel a mensch. Everyone likes to deal with him. Noyach Labrias. He's Hogun. So the Gemara says that's the Gewalt. The Chia Odom Eitz HaSoda. In other words, we talk not the Dom Tzemechai in the world. Dom Tzemechai Adam in the person. Is a person Odom Eitz? The Gewalt of a person is not Eitz. There's not. The answer to the Gemara is no. That's the Gewalt of a person. The Gewalt of a person is Dafke when he changed. Yes. Like it's brought in the Rebbe Yagon said that the main thing that Eibush created the world is that a person should change his midas. And see, do what the Alter Rebbe says, calling in Achzidus is Lishana Teva Medoisav, not Medoisav Ativim, Teva Medoisav. To change the whole Teva of his midas. And that's what the whole union of Chassidus is according to Alter Rebbe. According to Rebbe Yagon, it's the whole union of Yiddishkeit. The whole Judaism is to show that a person not could think differently. That's not the chiddush of Judaism. That the person could change their midas, could feel differently. So that's what the Gemara answers. That yes, that it's events. If he's a Talmud Chochem Hogun, that you see his Chochma makes him a Hogun, a guter Mensch. He's a good person. He's a kind person. He's a compassionate person. This Chochma brings him to be a Hogun. So in other words, his midas, his Teva Midosav are becoming refined. Learn from this guy. If he's Einay Hogun, turn your back to him. You don't want to learn from this guy. Because the Iker Inyan, just like Alter Rebbe says, that the things that are, why does a human being need to eat food? Chai is higher than Doimim, and Ovadabar is even higher. And yet we find that Lechem, Lavav, Enosh Yisad, you can eat steak, and today all the diets say protein, a Gevaldik, and you should try to be a gluten-free. The Chazal, gluten-free doesn't go well with Chazal, this diet. I don't know, because Rashi says right in the beginning of Chumash Bereshis that Shona B'Torah, Nevi'im, V'Ksuvim, Lechem, Lavav, Enosh Yisad, that what satisfies a human being is grain. So Alter Rebbe asks, why is it that dafka grain makes you satisfied? And you can eat a shtickle steak and noch a shtickle steak and it doesn't make you satisfied? Because dafka, the netzutzes kedusha that are higher fall in a lower place. So dafka tzaimeach is soyed the person's heart, not the chai. Protein doesn't satisfy you as much. Dafka lechem lavav enosh yisod. And the ikar inyan in tzaimeach is the tree. So therefore, the same thing in the oilam cotton is also like the oilam gadol. The midas of a person run very deep. You don't know a person based on what. A person's a gewaldike kop, a boche in yeshiva, a gewaldike kop. I mean, he's a good shidduch.
Doesn't have a good midas.
What's good? Why would a woman want to marry this guy? But lidach if his chacham, nicht der größte Talmud Chacham, but the little chacham that he learned changed the person, and he is a Talmud Chacham Hogun. He's a kind person, a good person. Sure, he's a good shidduch. You want to marry him to his sister. You want to suggest the shidduch for a girl you know, because he's going to be a good husband, right? So that's what the Gemara says. That the shaila is ki adam eitz asoda is a person which is odom. The mile of an odom is he's a bar seichel. You're comparing him to eitz, which is midas. The Gemara says, yeah, if he's a talmid chacham hogun, that his chacham made him to be a refined person. That's gewaldig. Learn from him. But if he's a talmid chacham sheini hogun, because the main thing of a fruit tree is for the fruits. You say, what? How much of the tree is tree and how much is fruit? The fruit is azoy, the peach is like this. There's on a soft tree. But we say that al pidin, that once he gives off so little peaches, you're allowed to cut the whole tree. Because this tree is garnished. What do you mean? Forget about the peach. It's a big tree. There's sharoshim, there's anofim, there's leaves, there's give shade to people. Peitis. We need to see peitis. The ikar of a tree is peitis. So the ikar of the chachma of a person is to see my peita mitzvahs, to see that a person changes. If a person becomes a talmid chacham hagum, that's the ikar of the whole inyan of Yiddishkeit, and that's the ikar of the whole inyan of Chassidus according to the Alter Rebbe. Okay, we'll stop at this. David shall help from Taka that going into Chodesh El, that all of us should be able to be a talmid chacham hagum.
Amen.